Hey everyone, coming to you today from Shamokin, Pennsylvania. The reason I'm here is we're going to revisit the Glenburn mine colliery. I was here back around October and I did a full tour of this area and I provide a lot of back history on the location. If you do want to watch that video, you can watch right now. It'll pop up on the screen here in the corner. But today we're back because since being here, we actually were looking on Google Maps and found some locations that we didn't see when we were here. Some additional buildings and structures. So I'm also not alone today either. I'm joined by the Wandering Woodsman right here. We both filmed here before and we decided to team up and tackle this together. So we're going to make our way up the mountain here and we're going to try and find some unseen areas. And if you remember too, last time I was here I went into the coal mine a little bit. I ventured in about 20-30 feet. Well, this time I brought my oxygen meter with me. I got it right here. And I'm going to try and go in a little bit farther and see if we find any anything interesting back there. So let's get started. Remember, this is the beginning area of the complex here. The remnants of it anyways. We got a nice set of steps and heads up to some of the buildings here that housed some pumps. Water filtration and water usage was a big part of this operation here, where they sorted the coal, sent it down different chutes. So there's a lot of water pumps, piping, and buildings for the units. I'm not going to show you everything that I showed you last time. Most of it was seen in the last video, but I'll just highlight some of the areas. This is one of the main pump houses here. You can see over there, there's those large pipes that ran throughout the area here. This is a, looks like an older electric pump. The large flywheel there. And this looks like it was the electrical panel for it. And we have some insulators up there. Right here is one of the sorting areas for processing the material. We've got some ore chutes coming out and some additional piping. There's a lot of riffles in there and troughs to sort the material. You got to remember too, the area that we're in, specifically Shamokin, was a big coal mining area. It was the main source of revenue and employment dating back to the early 1900s. So this is one of many collieries that existed in the area, but only a handful still exist today. They're either redeveloped for mine reclamation or for new businesses, or just Mother Nature takes it over, such as it does at this location here. These are starting to crumble and fall apart up here. It's only a thin layer of like a plastic roof. Right here we have two large holding tanks. And up behind here we're going to be making our way up to that stairwell that takes us up to where the hoist is. Now we're looking on top of those two holding tanks. Actually a pretty foul smell coming out of them. It's like an oily smell almost. And you can see this is a pretty steep bank here on the mountainside. And they had to work with what they had to. They basically had to make it work with what they were given. So they built everything on different layers of this mountain. I'd like to mention too that what we're seeing here today is only roughly 10 to 15% of what used to exist here. Heading out that way a few hundred yards was the main colliery, the wash house, several other office buildings for the company, and up until the early 2000s most of that existed here, but they did tear it down to build a bridge over here by Route 61. And back in, I think it was the 70s, don't quote me on the dates, but I did share it in my previous video, but they used to hold mine tours here. Once it closed as a commercial mining company, they opened it to the public and gave tours such as they do as the Lackawanna County Coal Mine Tour at McDade Park and the Coal Mine Tour in Ashland, which is just down the road. So for a while it did exist as a public coal mine tour, and then officially got shut down, and eventually this is all that you see that's remaining today. As always, if you guys do see anything in the video that I maybe missed or gave the incorrect information on, feel free to share your information with me down below in the comment section. I always love hearing from you guys and learning new things about the area. I'm by no means an expert on this location or the coal mining process, but I do have an interest in it, so I do try and read up on it a little bit and do a little bit of research, but I will make mistakes from time to time, so just bear with me, and looking forward to your feedback. Hit our way up the stairwell now. Well, not necessarily stairwell, but steps. You know what I mean. Behind me is Cliff, the Wandering Woodsman, so I'll give you a shot of him coming up when I make my way up to the top here. Here we have one of our favorite spots. This is the Hoist House. The building used to hold the operator in there who controlled the hoist to pull the ore cars or the skip cars in and out of the mine. It's a pretty impressive structure. I've seen hoists before at other locations such as the coal mine tours and other mine areas. This has got to be the largest one I've ever seen. To be this big and this impressive, it had to pull a lot of weight a good amount of distance. I mean, you just got to imagine this was just covered with spooled up cable, and it either most likely pulled from that direction, possibly this direction. It would have pulled either loaded coal cars or the transport car for the workers, or even skip cars, which are little cars to pull up material or tools. But I'm guessing just by the size of this, though, is for loaded coal cars. And right behind it's right where the structure would have been it's called the Hoist House. And that's where the operator would have been to control the hoist, to lower it and raise it, and keep in contact, usually with a series of buzzes or lights to communicate with the miners on the ground. So here's the back side of the Hoist House. And you can see here, part of it's collapsed. Actually, let me see if there's an opening down there. Hang on. You can see down there is an opening. I don't know if this is a partially filled in mine opening, or maybe something for water, but there is a man-made stone wall above it. And right behind there, that's the mine that I entered last time I was here. And we're going to go back in there today. Alright, I got as close as I could here without going any further. It's very uncertain, loose ground, but this looks like it was another mine opening. You can see it goes right around the edge of it here. And it's just kind of filled in right now, backfilled or collapsed in. But it looks like maybe this was where one of the entrances was for the mine cars to come in and out. Never saw this before, so I'm kind of glad I found it. You see there's just a large retaining wall right above it. Now if you look there, the concrete wall does go down. So what we're looking at looks like the top portion of this tunnel, or the adit, however you want to describe it. And it looks like there is a crawl space to get in there, but I'm not really equipped to do that right now, nor do I think I'll fit. But still pretty interesting to find. Now he just got back up. He actually went down and checked this out, where it showed you that look at what looked to be a mine opening, and he said that it's pretty much filled in. So So it's either caved in or backfilled. But it definitely looked like the entrance to a mine tunnel. This is something I came back to conquer today. I only went about 30 feet in there last time. And it's my first time ever entering a mine, but I do have better lighting and my O2 meter, so we're a little better equipped today to see what's inside. I gotta tell you, it's just very ominous looking. Just a deep, dark hole. But just like the Wandering Woodsman, these things always draw my curiosity. And now, as mentioned, this is the very first coal mine I've ever entered. I did explore another one after this one. We actually found abandoned coal mine cars inside, ore carts. So if you want to check out that video, it's going to pop up on the screen right now in the right hand corner. That was a really cool location, but that one I'm going to be returning to as well because I didn't get all the way down into that. I'm going to be heading in here momentarily, but again, I am taking a risk by doing this, but I am doing it the safest way possible. So all I ask is please give this video a thumbs up. This is something you normally wouldn't see on other people's channels. They don't normally go into coal mines and show you something that's kind of mysterious and dangerous like this. So I appreciate the support, but now let's go inside. You already see we got a lot of dripping water, and all this rock you see on the ground here did fall from the roof here, so it's not the most stable of entrances, but I feel comfortable enough to go inside again.
You can see the coal seam right there.
Yeah, it's right there on the left. That's what they were mining. Okay, so that's the entrance where this came from. The cliff is sitting up there. Here we have the rock plates. They always use the timbering and rock plates to hold up loose ceilings. So in here right now we got 20.9% oxygen, so we're okay. This will alert if it gets too low. Little pool of water there. I think this is called a stope, if I'm not mistaken. I sometimes get these terms confused. There's stopes, winzes, drifts, but I think when it goes up like this, it's a stope or a crosscut. You can see there is footprints here, so people were in here most likely before and after me. Very pitched roof here too. See, it's a vertical on the left hand side and about 45 degrees on the right hand side. I'm going to turn my light off now just to show you how dark it is in here. That's where I just came from, the opening. And now I'm turned around facing the direction towards the back. So you need very good lighting to do this. We've got a lot of, I think these are ore chutes here possibly. Now this type of ceiling here looks very structurally sound. It's pretty smooth, no jagged edges. Boy, look at that. That is a very steep, worked out area. Looks like it may have continued in either direction. But they most likely extracted all the coal out of there. Those are, in my eyes, terrible working conditions. And there's the seam of coal right there that they're working on. Again, guys, please don't try this at home. I am doing it the safest way possible. I have cliff wooding on the outside. I have the oxygen meter and good lighting, so just enjoy this through the video. Don't attempt to do it on your own. If you want to see what the inside of a coal mine looks like, go to one of the local coal mine tours where they do it safely. Lots of wood down here. There's a pipe here I keep stepping on. I don't know, maybe electrical or water. And here we have another worked out area. You can see the coal right there is really shiny. I believe this was anthracite coal. It's a really hard, high temperature burning coal. Burns much cleaner than traditional coal. This one goes up really far. The camera can't pick it up, it's so dark back there, but that's one of the larger crosscuts. Still got good air quality, so I'm going to continue forward. It's also very humid down here. There's a lot of moisture in the air, condensation. Ground's very muddy and squishy. Here, there's some kind of, I don't know what this was, some type of structure. You can see there's just posts going throughout, and looks like it would have continued that way towards the opening. So this may have been some type of chute or sorting table. Oh, look at that. Another tunnel. Okay, so this is right where I came from, straight back. There's the opening. On the right hand side we have another tunnel that branches off, so we're at basically a fork in the road. It does continue straight, and then we'll check that on the way back. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a lot of fog right now. That's looking on, we're on top of one of those cross cuts or chambers. So just to give an example, we would be standing on the top side of that, but this is a lower one, so this is a different view of what we've been looking at. That most likely goes down into additional workings, maybe connects up with a tunnel that we showed that's filled in right now. You can see that goes way up as well. Coal's on the left hand side, you can see it shining in the light. And these are retaining walls here to stop any debris from rolling down. So here is a better look at the more intact table. I'm guessing it's a table. I really don't know what this was for. Someone's coat. This is more extensive in here than I imagined it would be. There's lots of these upper areas here, these worked out areas. These are really cool. I forget the proper term for these. These are stalagmites or stalactites, but these are basically iron formations from within the rocks. And on the bottom, they look like almost like stuff from another planet, like the planet Mars. These are just natural formations. It just builds up from dripping down. We have some wiring. You can see that fog in the camera now, it's getting thicker. That's a big worked out area. If you guys are liking what you're seeing so far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Taking a big risk by doing this, but not only from my curiosity, but yours as well. I know there's a lot of people that love this type of stuff. Well, this is like out of a horror movie with like the eerie fog and the water dripping. That must go up, goes as far as I can see, at least probably 50 yards, if not farther. And you gotta remember too, we're inside a mountain, so not only does this go down a little bit, but it's going deeper into the mountain, so there's tons of material above us. I'm sweating bullets right now. Just to let you know, it's very, very humid and moist in here. And wet. I was contacted by someone who lives in the area here and told me about this mine after I first went into it. And they said it only went in about 60 feet, but I'm guessing they either went in a different tunnel or didn't go in all the way. But this is, we're probably pushing closer to 100 yards right now. There's a steep crack down there that goes way down. There's all timbers down there too, so that was a worked out area. Gotta imagine there's actually miners down there, you know, chiseling, hammering at this stuff. It's just amazing to realize what they went through to make a living. It's a little more opened up now. There's more room here to walk. To show you too, it's actually 72, almost 73 degrees in here, very warm. I'm getting a lot of water up here now. I'm not sure how much farther I'm going to be able to go. I don't have rainproof, waterproof boots on. Okay, then I'm gonna have to stop here. You can see there's quite a bit of water here. It's about 3 inches deep. And I really don't want to finish my trip with water-soaked feet. But even looking farther back, I know you can't see the camera, but there is water all the way back there. And it's probably deeper than what it is here. So this just tells me I need to come back with some kind of waders or something and finish this off, because now I'll be more intrigued as to what's back here, because this just keeps going as far as I can see. But we definitely made a lot of progress from last time I was here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn around and we're gonna take that tunnel going off to the left, a little bit on our right when we came in, and we'll see where that goes. But good indication though, this is safe to explore, good air quality. So looks like there's gonna be a trip number 3 to this location. Okay, that's where I just came from. I backtracked from where we encountered that water. And this is that junction here. Much lower ceiling, so I gotta kind of hunch over, which makes it difficult to breathe. So don't mind me if I'm huffing and puffing. So you got some tubing here, piping on the ground. Okay, interesting. Okay, a couple things. Well, I came in about maybe 25 feet and basically hit a dead end, but an interesting dead end. We've got a concrete cinder block walled off section here. And we have a lower worked area off to the right, which I'm in no way capable of doing right now. I don't have the proper gear for that. You need harnesses and everything, as well as a hard hat, which I should be wearing, but I don't have one. But that's something I'm not comfortable tackling on my own. So I'm gonna check out this right here. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of moisture and a strong breeze in here. It's actually sucking the air into this location. We're still same air quality and temperature, so this was maybe blocked off to control airflow. And look at this white material here. This is, I don't know what that is, but it looks really amazing. I mean, it looks like almost mold, but I don't believe it is. You can see we got moisture on it. It's glistening almost like diamonds. Now, as always, I will show you guys a comparison to myself. This room is not very big. This opening is big enough to crawl through, but as you can see, it's kind of sloped and looks like maybe backfilled or caved. But there was a draft sucking the air from this direction through there. So again, this maybe have been built for air control, to control where the air is going throughout the mine. This might be older workings and they don't want the fresh air going into there. So I'm just going based on what I've seen on other videos, other mine explorers. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. I'm, like I said, by no means an expert, but this thing is just really fascinating. I just can't get enough of stuff like this. And I have other mines I can explore as well in the area. So if you do enjoy this one, I have more of them coming out. And don't mind me, I'm covered in sweat. It's so humid and moist in here. And it's 70-some degrees, so I'm not exactly a small guy. But I just wanted to give you guys a look what was in here. I knew I had to come farther, but trip number 3 will be happening later this year. And I get some hip boots or something, some waders, and finish that mine off. So we're gonna head back out. Cliff's out there waiting for me. I think he's gonna come in next, and I'll meet up with you outside. All right, we're back at the opening here. We're gonna try and make our way back out. This rock's a little unstable.
You've been there a while.
It goes far.
Oh, does it?
I couldn't even reach the end. I encountered water.
Oh, wow. All right, my turn.
All right, Cliff's gonna venture his way into the line and check it out for himself. So we're gonna wait here for him. All right, I just want to give you my thoughts on that mine. I gotta say, I'm thoroughly impressed with how large and extensive that is. It's by no means a huge mine from my understanding, and based on the one I was in that I told you about with the ore carts, it doesn't look like it's nearly as big, but a couple of good things about it is, number one, it had great air quality the whole way through. So that's number one importance. It's safe to walk through. as far as oxygen goes. I had over 20% the whole time. Secondly, it has fairly high ceilings. So unlike the last mine that I just described, I was hunched over 90% of the time. This one I was able to walk standing straight up the whole time. The only downfall is a lot of timbering on the ground, a lot of piping, water, mud, so it is a little bit slippery and tricky to walk on, but taking your time and just being cautious and having good lighting like I do makes it much easier. Unfortunately, we encountered that pool of water, which looks like it carried on the remainder of the way, and I'm just wearing regular boots, work boots, so I'm going to definitely return with some type of water boots, hip boots or waders, something like that, just to be able to walk through that water, because I got to find out what's at the end of that. Might be caved in, might be another hoist, might be coal cars, could be anything. But just like I mentioned before, myself and Cliff were huge fans of the coal mine region and learning the history of it and finding out how the working conditions used to be and see what's left behind. Sometimes you find equipment, sometimes you don't, but it's still fascinating, at least to me. And again, please don't attempt to do this, at least not on your own. Go with someone who has experience. There's groups out in the area that do explore coal mines. And again, there's the Lackawanna County Coal Mine Tour, and I can't think of the other one. It's in Ashland, which is maybe a half hour from here. That one out is very similar to this, where it goes inside the mountain. And they take you and show you the mine workings and show you how they used to operate, explain a lot of the history of the area. And it's just very informative. And I've taken the Lackawanna County Coal Mine Tour a few times, and I plan on taking the Ashland one in the near future, just for my own curiosity and to say I checked it out. So all in all, it was an amazing exploration. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. We're not going to end the video here. We still have more to check out. We're going to be heading up top of this mountain where we think there's additional structures that were related to the colliery. And if we find them, we're going to share it with you. If we don't, then obviously I'll be wrapping up the video, because everything else here I showed in the previous video, which I already mentioned. So you can go back and watch that if you do want to see everything that's here. But again, this video is just to show you some new stuff that I haven't seen before. I heard something moving in the trees over there. But this is just, again, it's a revisit, but to see new things. So all in all, so far we're having an awesome time. And once Cliff gets back out, I'll give him like a quick interview and he could explain his thoughts on it. So we'll be back in a moment. Just to point out, I heard a noise in the trees. Turns out it's doves up here on top of the mine opening here. It scared the crap out of me. Started flapping its wings, and I thought it was a bear coming down the hill. Something wrong with him. I think he's injured. But there's something up here, a nest that he was trying to get to. If you guys can see, there's... Oh, Jesus. Holy crap. We got... I don't even know what type of snake that is. He's eating something up there. I think he killed one of the birds, maybe. Or something larger. Oh my God. This is unbelievable. That's a large snake. And he's eating something. I'm not a fan of snakes either, so this kind of, it's a little unsettling for me. Oh my God. I just never seen or expected to see this up here. But again, I'm not surprised because it's a mountainside, but that's kind of crazy. That's a very, very large snake. Oh my God, look at the size of that thing. That is incredible. If you guys know what kind of snake that is, let me know. I'm hoping Cliff will know. I don't know if that's poisonous or not, but it just goes to show you really got to watch your stepping around here. That is incredible. I never saw a snake that large in person though. That thing's got to be over 6 feet long. And he's engorging something right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just to give you a quick update, I'm out here waiting for Cliff to come out. But that snake I just showed you has me on edge right now. I'm kind of nervous that we're gonna find one down here in the rocks or something, because there's lots of hiding spaces for them, but that snake's only maybe 10-15 feet away from me, and he's large. I'm kind of a little leery right now. I don't like snakes at all. I don't know if he's poisonous or not, but I don't want to find out. So I'm hoping when Cliff gets out that he could explain to me what that is, or what type of snake it is, because if there's more of those around here, it's going to kind of make me take a second thought on going farther in this exploration, because I don't want to get bit or encounter something like that face to face. Again, sorry about the sweat. I'm still kind of soaked from coming out of that mine, but hopefully he'll be coming out soon and we'll get some information off him. So he's making his way back out.
Daylight.
Very humid down there, isn't it?
Yeah, my glasses are all fogged up. Man.
That's what you call getting up close and personal with nature. He's literally like 5 inches away.
Other head. Well, at the top of his head.
Braver man than I am.
I've only ever seen this on like TV, you know?
Yeah.
Or YouTube. It's not I'm doing YouTube, but
And this is the closest I ever want to get to it. So I'll watch your.
he's got past the hard part.
I'll watch your video for the close-up. You can see Cliff's right up there. He got up close and personal with that snake. He believes it's a black snake, which is non-poisonous. And it looks like to be a baby snake, but when I first showed you guys, there was a much larger, thicker body coming down the rock. So I think maybe the mother or a different one was there with it. I don't want to get as close as he did, but I'll link his video down below. You can watch it and see the up-close personal look with that snake. Okay, so Cliff made it safely out of the mine, and let's hear what he thought about it.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it was my first. I think it was my first real. Well, I've been in some smaller ones, but nothing like that. So that was definitely my first. Because usually I'm by myself too, so I don't like to go into them unless someone's with. So that was pretty cool. Once you got past the scary part, where it's all collapsing, and it's just like all solid in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like I said in my video, you could see where there's what they call them stopes, where they.
Yeah, that's what I said, stopes.
But you know they had people crawl up in there. It's like 2 feet high, and they had to like.
Sometimes even smaller.
Yeah, so.
And they're steep too.
Yeah.
Really steep.
I wondered like the bottom if they would like tie people to a rope or something so they could pull them back out or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Alright, so as I mentioned before, we're going to continue on. We have some points on the map that we're going to try and locate. It looks like structures on top of the mountain. But again, his video will be linked down below, so you can check out all his footage, including his look inside the mine and that crazy close-up experience with that snake. I'd never get that close to it, but I guess he's used to that type of thing. But so far we're having an awesome day, and it's only going to continue. Speaking of snakes, we found another one. Although this one I don't mind getting too close to. This is just a good overall look at the area here. That's the mine area right below that retaining wall. And the mountain just keeps going up. So we're going to make our way up there. Okay, we were going to move on, but now the snake is making his way down towards us. Finished his meal, and now he's headed somewhere else. Hey Cliff, he's coming right towards you.
Right towards me.
Yeah. Let's see. Cliff's right here, and that snake's about 5 feet away. He's coming
Oh, he's
close.
doing.
We're currently making our way up to the top of the mountain to locate the hopefully still existing structure that we found on the maps. We're going to follow his GPS coordinates, and we've got quite the hike ahead of us, a very steep incline. So once we get up farther, I'll meet back up with you. Alright, we're about halfway to 3/4 of the way up so far. Came across this man-made rock wall. I don't know what it's for. It's pretty intricate. We got pipe coming down there. And you can see our elevation. There's the town. Good old Shamokin. Okay, we made it to the top of the mountain finally. After a long scramble up some loose material and a very steep mountainside. We seem to have found what we're looking for through those trees. There's some type of structure or trellis or something, so we're going to head over there now. There's Cliff. And look at this view. Overlooking the town of Shamokin. And there's our target destination.
Let's check this place out.
Well, we finally made it, and luckily it's still here. As you know, checking Google Maps is not always 100% reliable. A lot of those images are old, but this time we lucked out. It's obviously something related to coal mining. It looks like there's a large waste rock pile in front of it here. So if you guys have any information or knowledge as to what this was used for, you're welcome to share it. Yeah, it looks like this looks similar to what I've seen at Lackawanna coal mine tour. It looks like a tipper. It looks like a dump truck would park under here and the material would come down that ore chute. I forget what that's called. I think it's a tipper. I may be thinking of something else, but basically the rail cars, the coal cars would come up on top of here, unload the material into like a hopper, and they would distribute it into awaiting dump trucks. Alright, here's a sense of just how big this is. This looks like it would have had rails on it at one point. And most likely there's actually a winch up there. We'll get a better look at it, but I believe it would have pulled out the coal cars up this mountainside. They would have went up the rails and dumped into the hopper up there. You can actually see they're using a railroad track on the side there. Right there and there is a railroad track. This is pretty impressive. I'm going to try and climb up this, I guess you can call it a trackway here, or the ties, and get a look inside. I actually don't want to go up too far because some of them are loose, but we'll get inside there somehow and I'll show you. Okay, there we got some kind of mechanism. It's like a changer and motor to control something on the inside there. Okay, here we are inside the heart of it. You can see there's the hopper chute there. Looks like up higher is like grizzly bars. You don't know if those are for grizzly bars or pieces of metal strips that separate the large material from the fine material. So the large material would have fell probably down this chute. The fine material would have went through a different opening. And that's how they separated. And there's a look at those metal runs for the track, and you can see just how huge this is. Those of you that are from the area, you've probably seen this dozens of times. It's sitting on the mountainside right in downtown Shamokin here. And there's Cliff. It's got to be 4 or 5 stories high. There is a stairwell there zigzagging to the top, so if I'm feeling brave enough, maybe I'll take a gander up there. Oh, this is awesome. This one's definitely in better shape, more intact than the original one. You can see this is all just connected with different gearing here, and that large flywheel. And I believe that's a wood surface, wood planks. Cable would have been spooled around that. And back here is a little foundation. This would have been the hoist house, where the operator would have controlled it. There's actually, yeah, parts of it laying over there. Look at this, there's still some controls here. They're seized up obviously, but there's some type of mechanism, probably to release the brake or engage it to activate the spooling. And here's the remnants of the building. This would have been enclosed right around here. There's some windows. So you just gotta imagine like a large shed type structure here that 1 or 2 people would have been inside of to control this. And again, they would have pulled up the coal cars up the mountainside to that, I think it's called a tipple, if that's right, remember, tipple. Basically, it's an area to process the coal. They pull the coal cars up the ore carts, dump the material, and it gets sorted into different hoppers, which then get loaded into dump trucks. So I'm almost positive that's how this operated up here. But this is pretty amazing to find. It's in relatively good shape. Look at, it's right out of Wilkes-Barre. Vulcan Iron Works. You can see that. Came out of Wilkes-Barre, which is about an hour away from here. It's just outside of Scranton. You can see this is large diameter, heavy gauge steel. It's solid. I mean, this won't be rotting away anytime soon. So there's the front of it. And as I mentioned, there's a concrete structure here, a foundation. It probably has some type of structure on it with a spool which carry the cable right up to there. We got steps, so we're going to see if I can make it up to the top. I'm going to go as far as I can, feeling comfortable because they're wooden steps. And some of them are missing. Okay, so I won't be going very far after all. Platform's gone here. But still pretty neat.
Yeah, I found one of the parts.
But it goes way up. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we found something else really cool up here. There's the tipple. Again, my apologies if it's in the incorrect terminology, but right below it is going to confirm some of our suspicions that it was used to pull up coal cars up the mountainside. And Cliff happened to have found one of the coal cars, so we're going to scramble down this and show you that up closer. Look at this. Wow. This is some heavy gauge material. I mean, look at the size of those ore cart wheels. It's almost like what you'd find on a locomotive or a passenger car. They were hauling some heavy material. Look at the size of this chain. It's got to be inch diameter. And there's railroad ties in the mountainside here with some bent, twisted track there. So they definitely pull these right up the mountainside with that giant hoist right up into that tipple. This is pretty amazing. That holds a lot of material. I mean, I've seen ore carts before, and they're the size of the ore carts you see on like Indiana Jones. This is like almost like a small box car. Yeah, this is a great find. So it has 4 wheels on the bottom, 2 axles, and it looks like it has 2 additional wheels on the back side here. Maybe when it tilted it up to dump it or something, it connected with those wheels. Here's a better look at those wheels. Look at them. Those are pretty large. If you guys know what these back wheels are for, I mean, this is on the very end of the coal car, halfway up the back side of it. I don't know what they would have been used for. I've never seen such a large coal car. I mean, it's a miniature hopper car for a train, pretty much. It's pretty amazing. Okay, right behind us is where the tipple was, and that coal car is sitting right there. And we saw pretty much everything there was to see up here, so now we're going to head down mountainside, and we're going to follow these railroad ties and see if we can discover anything else. If we find anything interesting, I'll pick up back where we left off. We're seeing a bunch of these on the way down too. They're about every 30 feet away from each other. I don't know what it's for. The ties continue on, so we're gonna follow them down. Still continuing our way down, and you can see just how steep this mountainside is. And he's walking down the remnants of ore cart tracks. And we still got quite a ways to go. It's just incredible how they decided to build this on a mountainside. I mean, there must have been some really rich coal deposits for them to go through this time and effort to build this operation, this colliery, literally on the side of the mountain. Here's a better look at one of those posts that we saw. Again, they're scattered about every 30 feet. And the tracks continue on. You can see some rail down there too, so I'll show you that. And cliffs making it down the other side there. Here's a shot of some of the railroad track for those ore carts. Yeah, it's like part of it washed out. This is where the tracks come to an end. It's a large stone wall, or a concrete wall. Well, we finally made it back. If you guys made it this whole entire time, I want to really thank you for watching. I know this was a long video, but on top of that, this was a very extensive and tiring exploration. I wasn't anticipating it being so challenging, but I'm glad I had Cliff with me. I want to thank him for joining me today, better known as the Wandering Woodsman. He's a very knowledgeable person. If you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do. The link will be down below, as well as a link to his video as well. He does a lot of videos in the area, including abandoned mines, a lot of history in the area as far as cemeteries and slavery, and also does some nature videos too, explaining wildflowers and everything else in between. So definitely check out his channel. But we're gonna wrap it up here. It was a very cool exploration today. We got farther inside that coal mine, which was awesome. So you can consider this part 2 of the Glenburn mine colliery, but there will be a part 3. I will be returning with some better boots, and I will get all the way back in that mine. And up on top of the mountain was that tipple and the winch, the hoist and the coal car, the ore cart. Those are all incredible finds, and that's what we pretty much came here for, is to find stuff that we haven't seen before. And we weren't sure if they were going to be here, but we lucked out. We made the trek up, we used this GPS coordinates, and we found it. So once again, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't done so, give the video a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.